So here's the latest Arduino project with two CAN bus shields. So these guys are from Seed Studio. They're their V2.0 CAN bus shields. I've got them both connected through the standard shield method. All those pins, all the header pins line up. Makes for pretty simple wiring, at least for testing these guys. And so the way I have the set up is each of these shields you can select what's called the slave select pin. It just so happens the standard slave select, which is pin 9, this guy here. This guy is set to pin 9 as a slave select, and then this lower guy, slave select, is pin 10. So they're acting as two separate CAN bus shields. The way that I have them currently set up is that this guy is sending messages and this guy is receiving them. Both the send commands and the receive commands interpretation is all happening on one Arduino board. And so you can see here the green and yellow wires are the actual CAN bus itself. And they have little indicators blinking there saying that it's currently sending and receiving messages. So I have the two potentiometers from before. In this case, the left potentiometer represents engine RPM, and the right potentiometer represents load. And I have those guys shown here. So when I turn the left guy, my engine RPM increases, and roll back and decreases. So let's say I'm idling now, and but not at 99% load. So this right guy, you can see the load as I roll it down decreases, and as I roll it up it increases. So those are the two input variables going into analog pins. Pin A1 and A2, the yellow and blue there. And so the way the code works is it accepts the RPM signal, the load signal, and looks up those on a table, just like before, the last video I showed. Actually, I'll show it here. So this table, it got a lot larger. So load is essentially the y-axis, engine RPM is the x-axis, and the values in the table are the eBooster commanded RPM divided by 100. And so when the eBooster is commanded to run at a 3000 RPM, it's at what's called an idle state. So all these 30s represent the eBooster just idling, essentially not doing anything. So you can see my table goes all the way out to 9000 RPM. And just for fun, I've got a eBooster profile here, or map, rolling in. So 40,000 RPM starting at 1750 and at higher throttle positions or loads, rolling to a maximum of 70,000 RPM through this range, then rolling back down. And so from a CAN bus perspective, I set these up as CAN bus A and CAN A and CAN B. You can see here it defines those slave selects as pin 9 and pin 10.